Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Varsity Gym, Proctor, Vermont, for one of the most look forward to days of the year, I think, in Proctor and in West Rutland. Proctor men's varsity basketball facing off against the crosstown rival West Rutland. You can listen to the announcement of the starting lineups.
Number 5, Jacob Dell. Number 14, Josh Smith. Number 21, Francis Grabowski. Number 22, Jeremy Moore. And number 32, Brian Matson. West Rutland is coached by Don Duchess Jr. and assisted by Don Duchess Sr. And now the starting lineup for your Proctor males. Number 3, Nick Slater. Number 12, Gannon McCurry. Number 13, Captain Kyle Miles. Number 21, Logan Landon. And number 22, Captain Curtis Hoffman. The Phantoms are coached by Jake Eaton and assisted by Rick Eaton. At this time, could you please rise and move your caps for the playing of the national
Okay, we're back. After the introductions, I'd like to let everyone out there in TV land know that I'm joined today by 6-time state champion, Twin State Basketball All-Star, North-South All-Star, Alyssa Valerio, who is on loan from PEGTV at Providence College, being my second in the game today. How are you doing, Alyssa?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem. So Proctor comes in with one loss. West Rutland played them relatively tough in West Rutland, but Proctor won going away. Seeing that their superior size and athleticism over time wore down the West Rutland Golden Horde. But the Proctor gym has sometimes some negative surprises even for the home team. The gym's a little bit smaller, and for a team that likes to run and get out, they have a little bit more difficulty spreading the floor. and teams can play zone and prevent them from moving the ball around as much as they'd like to.
Yeah, this gym definitely works to the strength of the zone. Narrow and not very long, so let's see how Proctor can overcome
Proctor's
that.
size, though, is allowing them to move the ball over the top. They're doing a good job moving it in the half court. Nick Swain for Proctor with the outside shot. He's been their leading scorer so far this year. Transfer in from Rutland, who's done a great job. West Rutland moving the ball up from right to left. Proctor going from left to right in the home whites. West Rutland in the visiting green. Nick Swain with the rebound off the long three. And there's a travel on Kyle Miles. And we're off. West Rutland's probably going to be served well by controlling the ball, taking as much time off the clock as they can in each possession. They don't want Proctor out there running with their potent offense. The longer they can hold on to the ball, the less time Proctor has to be able to score and create another possession. Proctor coming out with that ball pressure, very tough on point guards. Logan Landry with the rebound, looking for the outlet. Again, McCarron brings it up from left to right. Over on the right, Nick Swain, just off the mark, but Proctor's size on the inside was Logan Landry gets the rebound. Nevertheless, West Rutland makes the defensive play and again walks the ball up the court.
I think size is going to be a big factor in this game in terms of rebounding and just physicality throughout the length of the game.
Now that just shows you there that he doesn't necessarily require height to rebound. And West Rutland takes a 2-0 lead on number 22, Jeremy Avoli's inside play. He didn't even get off the floor there, but he's a stocky young man and can take up a lot of space inside. Leave Kyle Miles on the jumper and evens it up with 5:40 left in the first quarter.
Proctor's doing a good job working the ball, finding the gaps in the zone, and getting their shots, even if they're just in between shots. You don't always have to settle for that three-pointer.
I guess zone defenses have their place. I tend to hate them as a practical matter, as a coach and former player. It can allow teams to get lazy and think they're only guarding a space, when in fact, if you're playing a zone the right way, you really have to get out there and get after it.
If you play it hard enough and you have enough depth on the bench, normally zones can be a good job if you don't match up well to the team you're playing against.
Which is definitely the case from an athleticism standpoint in West Rutland in this case, as we saw in the first matchup. Proctor's able to put a lot of ball pressure up front. And West Rutland so far is settling for the three-point shot. Proctor moving the ball side to side, outside. That's not really enough passes against a zone. I mean, with Proctor's size inside, 2 passes and a jump shot from 22 feet are not really what you're looking for. You want to see that ball moving side to side so you can make a play inside. Just was not enough there. I know it's there and it's easy, but that's not a reason to take it.
The thing you can guarantee against a zone, though, is if you move the ball enough, eventually the zone will fall apart or the defense will get tired.
And you can definitely, and actually, against pretty much any defense, if you make 3 or 4 passes, people don't like to play defense more than about 30 seconds for some reason. Make a defense play defense for 40 seconds and you're liable to get layups. Deep shot by Gannon McCarron. Ball out of bounds. Ball out of bounds to, I can't tell to who. Timeout on the floor. I believe it's a 30-second timeout.
Jake Eaton's telling his team to stop shooting the three. Work the ball enough, maybe get look on the inside a little bit. They have a good sophomore, Logan Landon, on the inside.
Well,
he's strong.
Kyle Miles is strong.
Kyle Miles also.
But what West Rutland's doing is sort of luring them into what is easy. And what is easy is taking 22-footers. What is actually not hard, but takes a little bit more patience, is moving that ball side to side. There's Logan on the inside. Jesus, if he turned left, he probably would have had a layup. But, kick ball. Proctor on the side.
There you go. Getting the ball on the inside opens up so many options.
You can play inside out in the zone just like you can with a man-to-man. You've got to be able to create the angles by moving the ball to get the ball on the inside, either with bounce pass. Sometimes with a lob, Proctor can probably do that because of their size. Proctor, as with West Rutland, is off from outside right now. It's amazing how hitting a couple layups will end up freeing up your... Now, you know, that's a play where I don't understand why you don't give that ball up. You know, you're going to give it up. You might get it back. You might not. But you got a 2-on-1. You got to give that ball up.
Good move from 22, West side. Good strong move.
Yep, Avoli again on the inside. Right now it's Avoli 4, Proctor 2. Proctor moving the ball around the outside. It's a little bit odd in that Proctor will move the ball on the inside, and they're moving it from left to right away from the flash of the inside player. And that, you know, what you want to do is move it from one side to the other and then flash to the ball. And when someone flashes, Proctor seems to reverse it to the other side, which makes no sense at all.
Good rebound.
Proctor's size and that, again, causing difficulty on the shots. Logan Landon catches the ball on the block.
You always like to see your big run the length of the floor. And when he does, you better reward him with the ball.
You like that, but you know, Logan has this tendency. He'll catch the ball on that block, and then he'll turn right. And when he turns right, he buries himself under the hoop, and he gets himself trapped and has to either kick it out or causes himself some trouble. What he has to do is get a little bit higher on the block, so when he turns right, he can do a little bank shot off the glass, or has the option of turning left. Nick Swain for 2 on a nice strong drive to the baseline. That ties up the score. Right now, I'd have to say, though, West Rutland is controlling the pace of the game by keeping the ball in the half court. A little pick there. They didn't get any help, and Westside goes left and takes a 6-4 lead with about 2 minutes left in the half. The first quarter.
After that timeout, Proctor has been working the ball better in the offensive zone.
Yeah. Nice offensive rebound by Logan Landon. Puts it up with his right hand and in.
I'm excited to see him progress as a player.
He's a kid who grew really young and is starting to muscle into his size, into his height. He's always had pretty good footwork. Westside again trying to control the ball in the half court, moving the ball. Another long 3. My guess is that's going to come back to bite them if they end up relying on that as pretty much their entire offense. Unless they start hitting it, of course.
It's tough to see a team work the ball and keep the ball so long in the offensive end and then jack a 3.
Braden Foxon for the Phantoms. I missed that. Must have been at the timeout. But Nick Swain gets off the schneid and hits a 3. And Proctor takes a 3-point lead with 48 seconds left in the quarter.
Good roll.
Nice drive to the hoop. Mr. Avoli again takes the body, which he seems to be able to do, and get that ball up with the left hand. And goes to the line to finish the old-fashioned 3-point play, which he does. the hoop. Braden Fox driving the middle. And going to the line.
I'm not sure what West Rutland has for depth, but they better be careful with their fouls.
Well, it's not so bad right now. I think that's their first. No, look, no, they just went up on the board. That's their second. That's not bad for a first quarter.
No.
I think watching a couple of games in the last few days for the women's team and one of the 7th and 8th grade games, Proctor was in the bonus with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Shooting bonus the entire half, pretty much. Fails to convert on the free throw. Back comes Westside, perhaps looking for one shot. Although with high school players, you can never tell.
Oh, good steal by Reed.
Reed Farley in for the Phantoms and gets it to Braden Fox. Braden has been playing great the last couple of games. I think he had his career high the last game. Maybe I think he had about 13 points, and almost all of them coming in the second half.
Good for him.
Proctor finishes up the quarter with a little run, takes a 13-9 lead. Fouls even at 2. As far as I can tell, nobody in serious foul trouble. The interesting thing is that West Rutland is staying in the game by controlling the ball in their offensive half court. Proctor has been a little cold from the outside, hadn't looked inside as much as that you probably like, hadn't moved the ball quite as much as you wish they would. And West Rutland is getting pretty much what they want to do in the half court, although they're still down by 4. Like to see these Proctor Westside games be competitive. This rivalry goes back decades, and nothing better than during a holiday break to come out and see some good Division IV high school basketball with two rivals who are competitive. Some of the years it hasn't been so competitive, and people still come up to watch, but nothing like it if you can make some hay with a competitive team. Nice interception, athletic play. It'd be great if it were football. Unfortunately, you can't slide with the ball in basketball.
Not a very good pass on the outlet.
No, it really wasn't. But you have to credit the West Side the effort on that play.
Not a bad idea to look up the floor though. Just sometimes it's not always there.
Nick Swain looking for his shot.
There you go.
That's right. That's. You'd like to see again more ball movement side to side against the zone. See if you can play some inside out. That is a good shot for Nick Swain. He usually hits more than half of those. Just hasn't been quite on today.
Proctor out running. Way to draw the foul. Sometimes it's important to know who you're playing.
Westside gets underneath him. Foul. We'll see who the foul's on. It's a third foul. The foul's on number 21 for Westside. That's Francis Grabowski. Proctor moving the ball. Reed kind of in an odd spot there. He's got to back out and create more spacing so that they can't dig down on Logan Landon.
Good attempt by Braden to try to split the zone up top.
Right. Braden has always been a quick player. A lot of speed. Seems to have come into his own this year. Plays the tough defense. Again, that ball pressure is something Proctor has been preaching all year. Nick Ojala in for the Phantoms. Gannon McCarron also. With Nick Swain, Kyle Miles, and Logan Landon. Now you got to see as he's flashing down there, that play is wide open. You've got to be able to recognize that and get him the ball.
Good offensive
That was
rebound.
a good offensive rebound. Looked like he was fouled over the back, but that looked like a good strip. So, you know, we don't have the very best angle here from the booth high above courtside at the Bajani gym. But I can tell when someone's being ridden with a saddle, and I can tell when someone gets all ball. Seems like they got one of the two calls. Well, actually, they got them both wrong.
Sometimes you see the refs anticipating the play instead of calling it.
Isn't that the truth? It does make it a lot easier game to referee when you're anticipating as opposed to looking. But nevertheless, human beings tend to do that. They want to get on top of the call early. Proctor taking the ball in from the side. Gannon McCarron into Ojala. West Rutland in its 2-3 zone.
There's the flash. Right there.
See that inside out?
Good job overloading the side.
Makes it a nice, easy shot. Then inside out, Nick Swain. Not quite on today. But he's
still early.
Right. He's a guy who can go on a tear. But he starts hitting them. They seem like they never stop falling. But like, you know, any player, you got to get in the groove. Christmas holidays are things you don't have as many practices as you would like.
Good defense by Logan.
We saw with the women's team last night, they seemed a little rusty with lack of practice and lack of games. Soon it'll get to the point in the season where they're playing 2-3 games a week, and that rust isn't going to be a factor.
Good dish by Nick Swain.
Nice finish inside by Logan Landon. Sometimes those short shots are not as easy to make as they look. They're close, but you know, you have to have a nice soft touch in there. West side again, moving the ball along the outside, around the outside. It's number 21, Francis Grabowski at the line. Foul is on Logan Landon.
He's been having a pretty active game.
Yes, calling his name a lot, which is not a bad thing. First one is good. Back into the game. Curtis Tomlinson checking out his Kyle Miles. Just Logan Landon and Curtis Tomlinson switching places on the block for the rebounding. Logan Landon strong in the hoop, nice dish. Finished with the left hand by Curtis Tomlinson in the middle. Now that size advantage is starting to take hold a little bit because Proctor's being able to get a little bit into the seams of the zone and then pass the ball over the top. And that's a place that West Rutland doesn't seem to be able to defend.
I almost prefer to see those plays as opposed to three-pointers.
Oh, of course.
A good drive, instead of taking it, he dishes it to his teammate for a good and one.
Anybody can jack up a three, but, you know, nice passing against the zone. Nice to see.
Good job at Nick Ojala riding his hip.
Logan Landon bringing the ball up, but
sometimes that's what that ball pressure will do to you.
they also returned the favor on the turnover, and we're back to where we were a couple of seconds ago, with Proctor bringing the ball left to right. See that flash in the middle right there is always open. Almost looked like a walk, but not past that time by Logan. Got a little bit too much on the hip that time by Gannon McCarron puts Grabowski at the line. It's Gannon's second. First one is good. Westside climbs to within 7. Grabowski hits the second. Score is 18 for the Phantoms, 12 for the guest Westside Golden Horde. Gannon McCarron splitting the seam in the zone. Proctor moving the ball a lot better now than early in the game. Kyle Miles right in that sweet spot. That's good offense right there. Just didn't quite fall.
Even if you don't make the shot, it's almost worth it to make the defense have to work a little bit longer and a little bit harder.
Absolutely.
Wear him out for the length of the game.
That size, nice interception by Curtis Tomlinson. Kyle Miles loves that shot right from the free throw line. Number 5, Jacob Dow, bringing the ball up for Westside. Seems to be doing a pretty decent job not turning the ball over from that spot.
Good attempt by Nick Ojala.
You know, Kyle Miles shakes his head, doesn't think he should have picked up that foul, but he's got a habit of getting both of his hands on the hips of his defender, especially somebody who's strong. Possession out of bounds, but it's just a bad habit you got to get out of. You know, you play summer league, you play AAU, and you can get into habits about, particularly defensively, where they're going to call you in these varsity games.
It's a good one to follow.
Again, that's one of those one passes and a shot things that you don't really need. You know, you have a chance to go up double digits, move the ball a few times, get the ball inside. It's one thing if you get 3 or 4 passes and play inside out. Grabowski from the outside. Ball off of Westside, number 14, Josh Smith. And Nick Ojala bringing the ball up for the Phantoms. Gannon McCarron with a nice little dribble move to the middle, splitting his zone. Logan Landon's been a beast in there. Curtis Tomlinson with another 3.
Unfortunately, missed that floater, but it was a really good move, way to split the zone.
You know, I just don't like the idea of one pass and a shot. You know, I guess if you're hitting them, everything's great, but one pass and a shot, if you're not hitting them, keeps teams in games that don't belong in games. Logan Landon on the inside with that soft little baby hook.
He's got a whole head above West Rutland's tallest player.
That ball moved around a little bit. You didn't get 4 passes, but you got 3, and then you got a nice shot inside. Proctor now extending its lead to 10 with 1:29 left in the second quarter.
You'd have to give credit to West Rutland, though. They are definitely controlling the pace of this game, especially on their offensive end.
And it's allowing them to hang in there with a team that beat them by, I believe it was by 30 the last time they played. It was kind of a grind-em-out 30 where, you know, up 7 points one quarter, 8 points the next, 7 the next, and by the end of the game it was 28 or 30-point lead. You know, dribbling through a zone is one of those things, you know, if you can split the seam, that's fine, but it's always preferable to move the ball with the pass if you can.
Off the ball movement's huge on zones too.
Braden Fox with that ball pressure. Nice penetration and kick. I believe that's Jacob Dow with the 2.
Again, a very good unselfish play.
And again, that closes the lead to 6. Grabowski with the steal.
Bad pass by Nick Swain. And then it forces Braden Fox to get back on defense.
Now, I don't understand on that particular play why Grabowski just didn't go up on the left-hand side. It seemed like he had it wide open and then tried to bring it underneath. I do think there was some contact. I think there was definitely a foul, but sometimes we try to do a little bit too much. Nevertheless, puts the first of 2. Braden Fox picking up his first foul in the process. And it's his second. Now it's a 4-point game. Now, a couple of minutes ago, we were talking about a double-digit lead, getting ready to extend the lead. You get a couple of possessions down the floor where the ball isn't moving quite as much. Those flashes to the middle are not being recognized. Sometimes, you see guys who are used to getting their shots, feeling like it's time to get their shots, and that might not be the best thing for team basketball.
Sometimes players think they need that one shot to win the game, but in reality, a good couple possessions can do it, even if it's just win the half.
Well, you know what? We just finished the first half, and a team that was pretty well stomped the last time Proctor and West Rutland played. The West Rutland Golden Horde is down by 4 at Proctor. It seems to be controlling the pace of play. Neither team in much foul difficulty, with only 11 total fouls being called in the half.
I didn't see the first West Rutland-Proctor matchup, but I'm curious to see how West Rutland changed their game plan coming into this game.
You know what I think, honestly, part of what's going on here is that you have West Rutland in its zone, playing in a much smaller court in a smaller building. Proctor doesn't have the ability, because of the size of the court, to spread out the offense in the way that they're able to at a bigger gym, and I think it's working to their disadvantage. The other thing is, I think they remember the fact that they won by 25, 30 points the last time out, and are coming in, I'm not saying taking it lightly, but they are not as serious about what's going on the floor right now as they were when they played in West Rutland.
Sometimes when you win big against a team, the team will become complacent, and that's always tough to do, especially during regular season.
And you see this over and over, and you've played in these, you yourself have played in numerous, I believe you played in 7 state championship games, and in some of those games you're meeting a team for a 3rd or 4th time during the season, and while you might have beat them handily even 2 or 3 times in a row, once you get to that championship level, it's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes because you have to, obviously it's one thing to inspire yourself, but it's another to inspire the rest of your team to work just as hard as you did the first time you met them.
Because you're always going to have in mind the fact that you just, you might have beat the team 3 times in a row, or you just won by 30 points. It's kind of human nature. Mm-hmm. In any event, we hear a good game here in Proctor, and halftime score is 22-18. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Ready for the start of the second half. They got to clear the fouls off the clock. Somewhere around at tell speed. All right, Proctor on the possession, now moving right to left in front of us, and West Rutland sitting in that 2-3 zone. Grabowski tries to jump the pass, back comes Proctor quickly. Gannon tries to dribble through the zone, Curtis Tomlinson tries to dribble through the zone as the zone extends outside.
Good job on Nick Swain's part to attack his defender and then dish.
Little jump swing hook inside. Hate to be repetitive, but again, you had Logan Landon on that right block. When he turned to shoot that right-handed hook, he was almost behind the hoop. All he's got to do is set up on that second block instead of the lower block. So when he takes that step, he's got the backboard. And he's not behind the hoop. Little mishandle there. Proctor again moving the ball on the outside. Nick Swain, he has not been on today. That's very unusual for him. He's an excellent shooter, leading scorer for the Proctor Phantoms for the season.
Every shot's been right there too.
You know what that is? That's Christmas dinner right there. That's all that is.
Good defense on Nick's part.
He picks the pocket of the west side. And Logan landing on the follow.
Again, respecting that big man running the length of the floor.
That's the other, sometimes you have teams that have quick guards and they make defensive plays and they steal the ball and they'll go all the way, and a lot of times just for whatever reason they aren't looking to dish the ball, which I think is not good basketball. Nevertheless, as a big man, you always want to run the floor because you got to clean up their mess when they miss. Proctor ball pressure causing a little bit of havoc. West side with the turnover. Back comes Gannon McKinnon.
Good flash by Kyle Miles. Nice thing that Proctor has, they have two solid big men.
Gannon McKinnon, the set shot from behind the arc. Proctor extends the lead to 9. Proctor's defense has been good. I mean, you can't fault that at all. West side with only 18 points, and now we're into the third quarter. Curtis Thomas is lucky to get a travel on that one. Proctor moving the ball decently. Don't want to get buried in that corner.
Missed the three, but got the foul.
One of the things I'm sure is going on is that Westside's paying some close attention to Nick Swain. In the first game between these two over in West Rutland, he went off. I mean, he was hitting everything. And once he gets hot, he is very difficult to cool down. He'll come out and challenge that three, goes to the hoop strong, and back off him a little bit, he'll hit the jumper right in your face.
Not the worst thing, though, if they're focusing on him, because Proctor does have other offensive threats.
With the size advantage Proctor has, you do just like to see them get that ball inside. That's a good effort by Kyle Miles. Getting right on the floor.
Again, respecting the hustle play by the big man.
I see Logan Landon should learn a little something from that last play.
Good spin move. Number 32, Brian Maxim.
Westside still keeping it competitive. Very difficult to dribble through a zone. If you can get into that little pocket right inside the foul line, you make that ball fake, take one step in.
Great defense by Kyle Miles.
Shoot that little 12, 13-foot jump shot. That is open against the 2-3 zone if you can split the outside. Unfortunately, nowadays, I don't think coaches teach or rely as much upon the mid-range jump shot. But that 12, 13-foot jump shot, you can make a ton of points off of that, particularly against a zone that's chasing on the outside.
Good push by Gannon.
See, the push alone forces that defense to respond.
Amping up your speed, your intensity just a little bit sometimes makes other teams uncomfortable.
I think too in this game, it doesn't appear that Westside has I don't think they go particularly deep in their bench, and if you can get out there and run, you can probably wear them down. But as of right now, they're controlling that half-court pace, and it's 9 points with 4:10 left in the third quarter. Proctor's leading 29-20, and they're still in the game. A couple of three-pointers, and you're right there, or just a couple of turnovers and a couple of possessions. Every time it seems that Proctor is going to pull away and extend the lead, it seems that Westside makes a defensive play, gets an offensive rebound, hits a shot. They're hanging in there tough. So you can't really ask for more in a rivalry game like Proctor and Westside.
I'm also not entirely sure of the ages of West Rutland.
I think they're a relatively young team.
If that's the case, I'm interested to see how they progress. As are the Phantoms. Right now, Westside has 3 seniors, but they're mostly sophomores and juniors. Lots of room for development there. If I'm not mistaken, I think we only have 1 senior.
I think there's actually 2.
Oh yes, 2. Reed Farley and Tyler Goodhue for the Phantoms.
Yep, Tyler doesn't get a lot of run, but Reed Farley gets a fair number of minutes. But nevertheless, aside from that, Proctor's bringing back pretty much the whole crew for next year. Speaking of the Devils, Reed Farley gets ready to check in. Nick Swain at the line for 2. Reed checking in for Logan Landon. Proctor goes a little bit smaller.
Foul shots, especially in a closer game, are extremely important to make. Sometimes they're harder though because of the pressure, but if you can get on the line enough, it definitely makes a huge difference.
West side is dominating on the inside of this possession. They just got outworked that time, to be perfectly honest. You probably see the absence of Logan Landon there. He made it a lot more difficult. Reed is almost more of a swing player. He's like a 3-4 instead of a 2-5. Proctor going a little bit smaller. That's probably hurting him on the boards. Nice ball movement.
Not a bad shot by Reed Farley.
Good job on the inside.
Nick Swain does a good job every time he catches the ball, he spots up.
To be frank, Kyle Miles on that play, he's got a nice touch in there. He's got to be strong with that ball. Lay that ball up off the glass so that he's moving forward into the player. So he's not, it's kind of an off-balance flip that you saw there. If you're on the inside, you want to make sure that you're always going to the hoop. Make the defender defend as opposed to...
Again, that intermediate shot for Kyle Miles.
Reed making a nice job on the inside, getting a hand on the ball. But back comes Westside. Open down 8. Jake Dow, nice dribble move on the outside.
Call from the ref across the floor.
I'm not sure if that is a good call or not a good call because I was blocked, to be honest. But I'll tell you what, whether it was the call or the Proctor defender, Grabowski got bailed out big time. That shot was insane. I don't know that anybody is looking for something like that. Nevertheless, he gets to the line.
He's been doing a good job with his free throws this game.
I do like the color coordination of the shoes and the socks.
Nothing wrong with little school pride.
I think they're John Deere. Braden Fox in for the Phantoms. He had a nice little spark in the first half when he came in. Penetrating and moving the ball. Reed Farley on the inside.
Good pass by Nick
You know
Smith.
what? That was a fadeaway hook shot from 3 feet. Again, turn to the hoop, get your shoulder into the defender, put it off the glass, get to the line, and finish.
No shame in using the backboard, especially when you're that close.
Absolutely not. Yep.
2 points is a 2 points. Oh, good hustle play.
You know, in the old days, they actually used to teach you to use the backboard. A lot more room for error. I don't know what Reed's talking about. That was not a travel. That was a push. And I guess that if you go flying through the air, yeah, that was a foul on Reed. He was definitely hustling, but not a foul. Sometimes when you make those kind of after the fact calls in front of the ref, you just kind of silly.
Still good ball pressure for Proctor.
Well, you can't really question their defense. But Westside is hanging right in there. Varsity with another one of those interesting shots.
The constant ball pressure, though, definitely goes to show some conditioning that's gone on with Proctor Phantoms.
Nice bounce pass. Reed Farley into Logan Landon. Logan seems to be the difference in this game. He on the inside seems to be finishing for the most part like a big man. Proctor has some height, and a lot of it's at the guard position.
Good shot for West Rutland. Recognizing that his defender went under the screen and then pulled up for the jumper.
Proctor moving the ball around the outside, looking for that flash. All right, move that ball. That looks like a good slogan.
Not a bad way to end the quarter.
Right at the buzzer, pretty much. And Proctor ends the third quarter with a 35-26 lead. Nobody's in particular foul trouble. It's not for lack of hustle, frankly. I mean, they've been out there working hard, both sides. Not aware of anybody with more than a couple of fouls.
For the most part, very good straight-up defense. No cheap shots, no hand checks. Staying wide, keeping them in front.
Yep, I agree with you. So what do you think Westside needs to do to get back, try to close this lead some and get back in the game? Not that they're not in the game, but you gotta, at some point, now it's the fourth quarter, you gotta close that gap.
West Rutland needs to get some gaps and get some get some stops and get some rebounds. Frankly, and I know it's been a challenge for them all game because they are a little vertically challenged compared to Proctor, but some big, even offensive, defensive, rebounding in general would be huge for them.
The one flurry they had in there brought the game within 6, and I think you're right, Alyssa, that clearly it starts with getting some stops, but you can overcome some of that if you can control the boards. That was a double dribble. Back comes Proctor, moving right to left. And a 9-ball and a 9-point lead.
Screening the zone's a good option too. Good decision by Kyle. Because they're not always expecting it.
Little spacing problem there. You gotta get right out to that 3-point line. Logan Landon working on the inside.
There's the rebound.
That's one stop.
West Rutland cannot be doing that though. There's another rebound.
The offensive rebound by Jeremy O'Leary. He's really been West Rutland's main presence on the boards throughout the game. He started the game with some quick points on shots inside, rebounds.
He's been competing physically, even though he isn't always as tall as the person he's guarding.
No, but he's a strong guy, you can tell, and hard to move around. Goes to show you that if you can't move a guy, he has a chance to create space and get that rebound. Proctor running a inbounds play on the deflection. Nick Swain. You can tell he was a little off balance on that particular shot. I think the only reason he didn't take the...
Again, why you got to go for the fancier shot instead of just the regular left-handed layup? Could have been an easy 2.
Now that looks like Nick Swain. When he squares up and gets his feet under him and shoots that shot, he's deadly.
Definitely got his body under control there, even in transition.
You notice compared to the prior shot, he was fading and his feet weren't quite under him.
When everything's in line, good things happen.
Absolutely. Nice play inside.
Again, another rebound.
That kid is working his butt off in there and keep almost single-handedly keeping west side of the game.
Continuously losing those defensive boards.
That's that pocket I'm talking about.
To West Rutland.
Inside the free throw line. When you can split the defenders, make them guard both sides of the floor. If you flash somebody just inside the free throw line, you got a 13-foot jump shot that's about as easy a shot as you're going to get.
Proctor's got to put some serious work into boxing out and rebounding for the rest of this game because they've been giving up some very important offensive rebounds for West Rutland.
Although they have been able to extend the lead by 1, and now with 5:20 left in the fourth quarter, Proctor is up 40-30.
I think it's important at this point for Proctor to work the ball in the offensive end. Don't settle for any three-pointers. Get some good, solid shots. Maybe even possibly pull West Rutland out of their zone and force them to play some man.
Well, that's going to happen at some point here. I mean, with 5:20 left and a 10-point lead, good teams know the game, especially at the high school level with no shot clock. The game could almost be over. The question is, how disciplined are you? How patient are you? And how well can you control the ball in the half court? Proctor comes back to its original starting lineup. Jacob down, sets west side up top.
Good screen and roll. Now there's a mismatch.
There's a nice. You see how Avoli is using his body on the inside? When he gets that ball, he grabs it with 2 hands, and he's dipping his shoulder in and putting the Proctor defender off balance. So they can't get their hands in there for that rebound.
Not only a good job by Avoli, but a good job by the guard to recognize that mismatch. Pick and roll, the classic play of basketball. Works almost every time.
Well, if someone knows how to run it, you almost don't need any other offense. At some point, though, Westside is going to have to come out of this zone.
Proctor just needs to make them instead of settling for three-pointers.
Block on the inside. Avoli wants to win this game one way or another. And he's getting his hands in. He's very active. Proctor attempted to move the ball, but turns the ball over on a low pass.
I think West Rutland has amped up their intensity a little bit in that zone, throwing them off a little bit. Dangerous pass.
That was not probably what the West Side coach was looking for. Things getting a little wild.
Almost a turnover, but good hustle play by Kyle Miles.
And I think Proctor now has recognized the fact that they can draw him out of that zone if they want to.
Patience is key at this point in the game.
And you got to be smart. You know, the crowd is going to start grumbling and want to get on him and say, oh, you know, look at them, they're not even looking to shoot. Well, no, they're not, because they're up 8 points. playing inside out. Nick Swain. Got to be perfectly.
Good rebound by Logan.
Offensive rebound, but turns it over. Here comes Jacob Dow. Nice left-handed shot. Is able to create some space with his shoulder and get that left-handed shot off.
And in that instance, I almost think his size is to his advantage, because sometimes if he was a little bigger, they might have called an offensive, but...
And here comes Westside with another rebound. Only down 6 with 3:23 left.
Oh, turnover by...
But a turnover. Here comes Gannon McCann. Not a smart play by Grabowski. That ball was in the hoop. Literally in the hoop at the time he made the foul. That's his third.
Good job by Nick Swain, though, to get the ball ahead of him.
I don't know. I can't tell. It's not on the board yet. That's his fourth.
It's tough at this point of the game. Do you sit him or do you let him play?
Well, you play him. You got 3 minutes left. He's obviously one of your better athletes. But now it's a 9-point game again. They had it down to 6. You know,
However, Proctor needs to recognize him on the offensive end, drive the ball right at him, force him to get that 5th foul.
Well, the other thing is they're still in the zone, so it's a little bit more difficult to do.
Good hustle play, though.
Got to give the kid some credit for whatever mistakes he might make mentally on the floor. He is always putting his body out there, working as hard as anybody.
Some serious respect for people who give up their body to the game. From that example right there. He's only a sophomore.
Clearly, very athletic kid.
Curious if he's going to grow more.
Hard to tell.
It's true.
Maybe we should grab his parents, get him in front of the camera, and we could have a better
idea. Because that could be dangerous down the road for the future West Rutland-Proctor matchups.
Yeah, by your sophomore, junior year, yeah, there are people who grow a lot at various times. You never know.
Yeah. I can't necessarily say that for girls, because we're normally the same height once we hit freshman year, but...
Well, it wasn't for you, frankly. You grew quite a lot between your freshman and sophomore and then junior. But anyway, now we're back for crunch time. 2 minutes and 53 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Proctor leading 43-34, and they have the ball. And Westside now comes out of their zone, going man-to-man, which they have to do.
It's a good decision.
They put themselves in a position where they could win. Proctor running the flex, my least favorite offense in the history of mankind. Most people don't understand how it ever gets you a shot. But if it comes to wasting time, it's great.
And there's that
intermediate jump shot, 15-footer by Kyle Miles. That is his shot.
You know, it's good when you see a post player who's a threat on the post and a threat on the outside J. Difficult to guard, and sometimes it's really difficult to match up.
Absolutely. Proctor taking its time, 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
As they should.
Up by 11. Solid pick by Kyle Miles.
Strong take by Curtis Tomlinson. The West Side 7.
That falls on Jacob Dow. That's only his 2nd. Nobody in particular foul trouble, although Westside is going to want to perhaps stop the clock. This might turn into a little bit of a foul fest toward the end.
Yeah, I'm curious why he took out some of his starters.
I am not sure. I don't think that 12 points is out of line with a 3-point line.
No.
Maybe some of the bench players are a little bit better from behind the arc.
Good rebound by Logan.
Kind of bit of a wild drive and another kind of athletic endeavor by Grabowski. Proctor now moving the ball deliberately inside and out.
Good strong move by Kyle.
That's where the height comes in. When he turns and
Faces up, yeah.
faces with chin in that ball on a volley, he's got the ball, at his forehead level. So when you reach in, it's almost guaranteed to be a foul.
Credit by Valerio, though. He's been playing really well all game.
Oh, he's had a great game. Seems that Westside is now empty.
That might be it for him.
And I think that he's done for the day. It looks as though Westside's getting in some of its bench players.
Nothing that a lot of the starters should be ashamed of. They played really well.
Oh, they battled tough in this game. I mean, they were in this. They're in it right down to the end, and some great efforts. Great physical efforts by Grabowski, Avoli. Obviously was the star inside and out.
It's good to see him still playing till the end, though.
Jacob Dow running the show. He's got a nice little handle. I think he's an excellent up-and-coming guard player.
He has a nice crossover. He's also only a sophomore.
I think that what this game boiled down to again basically was Proctor had bigger, stronger players, and Westside couldn't quite deal with the height and athleticism overall, aside from Avoli.
From what I heard from last game, though, they did a much better job staying out of foul trouble.
Westside did, yes.
Yes, West Rutland did.
Yeah, Westside was in foul trouble pretty much the whole first game.
That's not always an easy thing to coach. Nick Swain retiring for the game.
Late foul by Curtis Tomlinson. It's only his first.
Good help side defense by Reed Farley. Oh, but doesn't recover.
Turnover by the Phantoms. Not a lot of garbage time in this game, unlike the first one. And we count it down, 3, 2, 1, ball goes over. Proctor defeats Westside in the rematch at the Johnny Gym. Final score, 48-34. Looking back over this game, I would say that the key player, and I don't know if you agree with me, Logan Landon really dominated the game on the inside with his play off the boards defensively, and particularly with those little jump hooks on the inside.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If someone could get him to start at the second block once in a while, he might hit a few more of them instead of getting himself buried behind the hoop. But that having been said, he and Kyle Miles really seemed to be the difference in the game down the stretch. Played an excellent game. Proctor, when it counted, was patient with the ball, moved it around, and closed the game out as a good team should.
Yeah, and despite Logan and Kyle doing well, Avoli did a good job defensively and offensively, especially towards the end of that game, working hard on the boards for West Rutland.
Yeah, and I would also give some kudos to Jacob Dow, who ran the show, didn't turn the ball over, and
Grabowski.
Grabowski, who, while sometimes wild out there, definitely put his body on the line and worked hard from beginning to end. Well, I guess that's all we have here from the Bajani Gym. we'll see you next time. This is Matt Valerio.
Alyssa Valerio.
Saying goodbye.